Thank you so much for taking my question. I'm really concerned about those conflicts that have a really long history. How do we deal with something like that?
That's a good question.
Conflicts that have a history are very scary for people. And I'm going to just give a couple of thoughts about that. Someone has to go first to try to de-escalate. And one thing you can say to just create a moment around it is to say, I've had a few events happen in my life recently. You could say I went to a communication thing, or you could just leave it at I've had a few things happen in my life recently. And it got me to thinking that it's really important to me to try to figure out what's gone wrong and make it right, because I really care about my relationship with you. Now, this would vary. I mean, if it's a work relationship, it would be different than if it was a friend from a long time ago. But again, remember, this is about making conscious choices.
And I'll tell you, the fail-safe in this is when they start talking to you, no matter what comes back at you, to become a great listener. Listening is always the default strategy whenever you're dealing with a situation, whether it be a long-term one as the one you're asking about or a short-term one. You move right into really great listening because that's the connector that can move the relationship forward. It's not an easy answer to your very difficult question, but it's the way you begin to chip out that long-term bad feeling.
And I would really think through ahead of time what you're going to say. And then in the end, as Peter mentioned, we actually have a colleague who works primarily with groups that are absolutely at loggerheads. And her recommendation is when all else fails, stop talking and keep listening. And so it might take a while. And I would really perhaps initiate it with a perception check, because that's a softer way to get the conversation going. And I would so give it a try. Why not if you care about it?
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.